us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, family, breathe. Yo. I want to welcome you to the Daily Spark. Make sure that you are standing on your 6 pillars. Do I need to run through them for you real quick? But before I do, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, share, and please comment. Throw an ashe down there if you with me early in the morning, knowing that we launch this show every day at 6:30 a.m. Why do I do it to myself? Because I love you and I love me. This show is good for me, man. I was really missing something for a long while. And it was the show. But for those that don't know, 6 pillars of health and Gye-nyame, the 6 pillars upon which we stand, of course, starting off with that breath, right? The breath is the key thing, right? Making sure that you are consciously breathing, not just on this automatic breathing thing that we have going on with our body. We got to consciously take breath on purpose. Speaking of purpose, man, that was a nice algorithm, and I'm gonna make sure we close that algorithm out for purpose, because I want to say great kuumba to all of you. The next one is water. Make sure you're drinking pure water, because they're putting stuff in the water, family. We talk about the food, but I don't think a lot of people really is checking out what's in this water. Even some of that bottled water shit that they got out here, right? That you look on the bottle. It's a municipal water. They basically are bottling up city water and selling it. Family, what? You know what I'm saying? Some of them with them outside names like Deer Valley or something like that. It might be called Otter Spring, and you'd be like, wow, Otter Spring, this got to be pure. Otters are swimming in it. No, that's the city reservoir. But anyway, get that water, right? Next step, right? From there, we move to a culturally appropriate diet. Culturally appropriate, and I stress that. It's very important that you plug into your culture and eat from your culture, right? Now, I ain't talking about just the recent culture. I'm talking about going back and looking at some of the foods that nature put up there for you. And that means as African Americans, we got to really look at some of the food that are that some of our family from the diaspora is eating on as well, right? You know, because it goes a little bit deeper than some of the stuff we had in America, because we had to learn to survive in America, right? But where we were from, a lot of us are from West Africa. There are staples over there that we can start incorporating into our diets over here. All right, after that, we get that movement. You know what I'm saying? That conscious movement, right? Be conscious of your movement, right? Do some stuff on purpose, right? From there, we got to make sure we're getting our rest. And the 6th and final pillar is some type of spiritual, mental, emotional practice, right? Something that you're putting in motion, right? I salute the ancestors. Do some Tai Chi, walk, spin my rope, right? When I'm not, because I'm still recovering right now. But y'all, you get the idea, right? So got those 6 pillars. So family, I want to say great kuumba to each and every last one of you. Welcome to the show, man. And I can't help but to think about some of this shit going on in the world before we even get into the show. You know what I'm saying? Because, and this shit has been bothering me. As I look at some of the cruelty that is happening with this white narcissism, whether it's veiled in religious rhetoric or whatever is all narcissism. And narcissism requires a sacrifice. Now, I know this is going to be kind of spooky for some of y'all, because one of the haikus that I wrote, and I wrote this yesterday. I just was moving around. I had to write this right after the show. But to a brother that is into myths, fairy tales, spiritual writings, proverbs, I am noticing some ritualistic types of behaviors. I'm noticing sacrifice on the human level. See, because I don't know if those, any of you that ever caught my show where I talked about the power of libations and what the most powerful libations are fluids that flow from human beings, especially human beings. Blood being the top one. Blood, sweat, and tears are the top. Right? You know, and I mean, we could go and have a whole discussion of it. Blood, sweat, and tears. Right? All can be used as sacrificial things. And what I'm saying is a massive blood sacrifice with some of these behaviors. I just want to throw that out there, right? I want us to really look at what's happening in Palestine. I want us to look at what's happening in the other small country that Israel is attacking. I want us to look and see what's happening in Iran, right? And what is transpiring, because what we have is a narcissistic group who requires submission. And if they can't get submission, they will accept blood as an offering. And they will drain the blood until they get their submission. It's a blood sacrifice. It's a ritual, right? But anyway, on to brighter things. I know y'all like, brother, y'all gonna be really mad at my first haiku that I wrote yesterday that kind of sparked this thought. It says, God has been captured and held hostage by the West since slavery times. That boy be haikuing. I know I lost some listeners. I done lost some listeners, man. You know, because I'm a writer too. So one of the stories that I was thinking about, I ran across a story. I can't remember the author. It was a very good book, but in the book, God or one of the gods had been captured and held hostage and stripped of their power, right? And I'm thinking of a concept of doing that, right? And the God, the true God, has been captured and held hostage and put in a prison and is tortured. I mean, and ridiculed and defiled, while they harness the energy that comes from this deity and use it to cause chaos on the planet, right? And I'm sitting up here like, wow, that'll be a great story, Tim. You know what I'm saying? You throw that Gye-nyame style on that, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, like, what would be the first thing God would say finally when we break through and we was to rescue? Because, you know what I'm saying, it's been since slavery times. But if you look at, and when I'm talking about slavery times, because I know some of y'all is going to be technical and send this to your technical friends. Meaning, well, it's been slavery for a very long. You know what the fuck? Excuse me. You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, but there was a lead up to that because there was a decline from where we were to where we are, and there was a rise from where they were to where they presently are, right? And that fall we could chart for maybe about 2,000 years, because a lot of people don't really understand the depth of our history and the length of us as black folks, right? Just because we didn't necessarily want to sell around the world and take shit from other people, right? Because a lot of people, and I want y'all to be clear about this. When people start talking about, and you need to stand up with this, when they be like, oh, that's human nature. Evil shit that goes on is not human nature. Anti-human behavior is not natural behavior, is not human nature. Anti-human behavior is not human behavior. Is not natural. And we have to start having those discussions when people say, oh, it's human nature. Is it? Or is it taught? That's it. You see, because, and here's the argument for that. If that was human nature, then how did we make it from where we were to where we are? Human nature requires us to have to be able to cooperate. Because until we get the guns and all this shit, we was equal with the bear. And a bear will whoop a man's ass. I don't care what man you pick. You see what I'm saying? It takes a group of us to take down some of the animals that we have taken down in order for us to establish. I want you to think about this. How many different types of predators did they have to get rid of before they were able to do agriculture in a way that we were doing agriculture? You don't think them felines and them other big hungry meat eating mammals was sitting around waiting for the opportunity to eat on one of us because we sitting around farming? Come on, fam, stop it. All right, this is why Brother Hatim need a script. All right, so back to the haiku. God has been captured and held hostage by the West since slavery time. When I say West, I'm talking about West Asians and Central Asians. We can see they got, actually, here's the angle. The story of the lamp, the genie in the lamp, right, was a metaphor for capturing God, right? So in the story that I'm thinking about, God is kept in a bottle, and a certain group they take care and manage the bottle, and they could release God to grant their wish. Somehow I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. And I do recognize the power of story. The power of story. And one of the things we also need to focus on is getting our young people, not only our young people, but some of us as elders, those of you that are writers, we need to write the world that we want to see. Right? I mean, because, you know, some of the stuff I read, like right now in Gye-nyame, we going back through the Sower, Octavia Butler's, I can't remember. But I love that book and I hate that book. Oh my God. I mean, it's almost like I read it. I have to force myself to read it. It was written so well and it speaks so loud, especially today, that I have to make myself sit down and read that book because it spooks me out, right? And I'm glad that in the second book, she takes it to a future, but you got to get through the storm, which we're going to talk about today. Standing in purpose as a storm of life greets me. Not the first nor the last. That's a haiku. Happy to do show. Still cannot walk. Need to rest. Healing is coming. All right, then we got Ujima next week will align and be complete. Day, week, cycle, year. So those that don't know, we're moving into what I will call the most powerful time of the year. We're moving into where we're going to have a Ujima year, Ujima cycle, Ujima week, and on the 29th, we're going to have the Ujima day. Ujima babies, give it up for the Ujima babies and that Ujima day family. Some of us going to be getting some breakthrough. All right, so let's get it moving. So good to be standing here with you. Here is the official haiku for the day. Chaos calls my name. I do not run from the storm. I paint with the rain. Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. So let's get it. First off, we want to make sure that you know that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place of your calling. This is Gye-nyame Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim, the long-winded one, also known as Brother Elder. Brother Elder Hatim, and it's a Heart of Some production all day, every day. But we strive to blow up your old paradigm. All right. Pull up a seat on the porch of Gye-nyame. It's coming, y'all. Let's talk about the orange glow of Kaumba creativity for those that aren't initiated. Now, when I say creativity, I ain't just talking about picking up a paintbrush or writing a poem like myself with my haikus by Hatim. I'm talking about the divine ability to look at a mess and see a masterpiece. We are living in a cycle of double Ujima, which means our collective work is amplified. But today, tucked inside the week of Kujichagulia, we are tasked with the determination to create something out of nothing. The ancestors gave us a heavy algorithm for the day. Chaos is just raw material for my masterpiece. This is the algorithm for the day. Speaking of that, we're going to pause right there. We want to say goodbye to the dope algorithm from yesterday, which says, I align my daily habits with my lifelong destiny. I align my daily habits with my lifelong destiny. I aligned my daily habits with my lifelong destiny, right? So we're saying goodbye to that, and right now we are saying hello to the algorithm of the day, and it's chaos. It's just raw material for my next masterpiece. Chaos is just raw material for my next masterpiece. And man, do I know that one. Lord have mercy. Think about our history in this wilderness. We were given the scraps of the kitchen and we created soul food. We were given a language that wasn't ours and we created jazz, blues, and hip hop. We were given a system designed to break us and we created a culture that the whole world mimics. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? That is the essence of Kaumba. It isn't about having the perfect tools. It's about what you do when the tools are broken. Or even when you have the wrong tools for the job. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all. However, the buildup that we always talk about, we've allowed to crust over our spirits is the lie that we have to do something big or instant for it to count. Our proverb today reminds us, little by little fills the measure. In the old days, they used a kababa, a small wood measure to handle grain. If you were starving and tried to dump a whole 50-pound sack of flour into the little measure all at once, you lose half of all of it in the dirt. You'll lose more than half, family. It would be a waste. But if you take a scoop, then another, eventually the measure is full and the family is fed. We've been conditioned by this fast-paced digital world to think that if we can't make it happen, all right, if we can't make it happen immediately, as discussed in the Warrior's Handbook for Life Journey, make it happen is one of my classic stories. Those of you in Gye-nyame, if you don't know the story of Make It Happen and the 7 B's, I dare to say it, you ain't even Gye-nyame. You pretending. I know some of y'all gonna be mad. They mad. I tell them. Why are you saying that? You need to know that story. Make it happen. As discussed in the Warrior's Handbook for Life's Journey. Also, it might be in the Lost Art of Storytelling. Also, it's in my blog, right? Just go to my author's page and you know what I'm saying? You get links, you can find it. You know what I'm saying? Or just hit Brother Hatim up. You know what I'm saying? Also, I need y'all to comment. Somebody type Ashe if you're feeling any of this right now. All right. So, make it happen. If we can't make it happen in one giant leap, then we aren't being creative. We get paralyzed by the chaos of our lives, the bills, the broken relationships, ouch, the community tension, and we freeze. We think we need a clean slate to start. But the griots know better. Our wisdom keepers knew better. Our elders knew better. Our councils knew better. Kuumba is a subtractive art. It's the secret of the ages, family. I'm dropping gems. Come on now. Come on, tap Ashe if you feel me. To reveal the masterpiece, you have to scrape off the hustle culture that tells you to add more to your plate. Come on now. This is what's going on. I mean, I deal with this every day because I find something that I need to add every day. Like, for example, look at my posts. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I'm adding, I have to take some stuff away. You have to shed the false narrative that you aren't an artist because you don't have a studio. Your life is the studio. Your character is the clay. Every time you choose peace over an argument, you are being creative. Every time you find a way to stretch $1 to help a brother, you are practicing Kuumba. Stop trying to build a whole nation in a day. Just fill your kababa today. Shed the weight of someday and focus on the raw material of right now. Shots fired. Don't duck. So, you know, somebody type in duck down. I know they had to hit somebody right out there, right? Right? Every time you choose peace over an argument, you are being creative. Every time you find a way to stretch $1 to help a brother, you are practical. But stop trying to build a whole nation in a day. To fill your kababa today. Shed the weight of someday and focus on the raw material of right now. Some of us caught up in the past. Some of us caught up in the future. What about the raw material? What about the wealth that's sitting at your feet that you keep stepping over? If your life feels like chaos, hallelujah. That just means you have plenty of supplies for your next masterpiece. All right, anime, come on now, there you go. All right, family, check out more from me as an author. You know what I'm saying? Support the journey, blah, blah, blah. Go in the link. We're going to have I have the author's page. We also got the link to the Nguzo Saba narrative map. Become a supporting member. I need some supporting members. I need more supporting members. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it on Spreaker. You could go and join us over at Spreaker. And you know, once you sign up and all that, you get automatically sent to your email. All right. Get your Rep Your Principal shirt. Come on, Rep Your Principal and join our Daily Spark Telegram group. Now check this out. Family, if you're not getting the write up on the on the algorithm or the write up. Matter of fact, I got to share the write up on for the proverb of the day right now. I'm gonna go and share that right now. I'm telling you, missing some stuff, family. But hey, hold on. You know, where's the proverb of the day? Proverb of the day. You already heard it, but I'm going to do it.
The proverb.
Proverb of the day. You ready? For this reading, return to the Swahili coast of East Africa following the heavy structural audits and defensive battles of the past few weeks. The ancestors offer us a profoundly grounding and peaceful instruction on how to rebuild. It is a proverb of ultimate patience. It's Haba, Nahaba, Hujaza, Kababa. Little by little fills the measure. Little by little fills the measure. Now tell me, what does it mean to you? You know what that means? You are now listening to Gye-nyame Journey Radio. This is a Heart of a Symbol production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms.